Hey guys, if you do not have your board marker eraser or a paper and a pencil, pause this video right now and grab your materials. So in today's mini lesson, we talked about adding and subtracting fractions with common denominators. And we're still looking at just parts of a whole. We haven't quite talked about what happens when we get to a whole. So we will be getting to that in our next upcoming lessons. So what we're looking at is for our fourth grade standard, we are simply looking at fractions that have the same denominator. So as long as our fractions have the same denominator, then we're good to go and we can add or subtract. So remember, when we are adding or subtracting fractions, we never add or subtract the denominator. That always stays the same because it's a part of the same whole. So we can go ahead and get started on 4/8 plus 1/8. So when we're looking at this, what is our denominator? Well, our denominator is going to be 8 because it always stays the same. Let's pay attention to what's going on in our numerator. We have to add 4 plus 1. Is that true? That we can do that? Absolutely. So 4 plus 1 equals 5. So our answer is 5/8. And we can double check our answer by seeing if our numerator is somehow larger than our denominator, then we've probably done something wrong and we need to go back and double check. So I would like for you to practice right over here to the right, 6/9 plus 2/9. Go ahead and write your answer on your board. All right, so if we're answering this, our denominator needs to be 9, and 6 plus 2 equals 8. So we have 8/9. Okay, now let's move on to subtraction. So it's the same thing. You have to make sure that you have the exact same denominator. 8/12 minus 4/12. So our denominator stays the same no matter what. So we're going to go ahead and write down 12. And then 8 minus 4 equals 4. Now something that we want to make sure that we are really getting into the habit of is we need to make sure that we are simplifying our fractions. So 4/12. By looking back up here, and over here, we knew that these were already simplified because the only factors that 5 and 8 have in common are 1. 8 and 9 are neighbors, so they are for sure simplified. But 4/12, it seems like they probably have more than just 1 in common when it comes to their factors. So we would do our factor rainbows for 4 and our factor rainbows for 12. We have 1 and 4. We have 1 and 12. What else equals 4? Well, 2 and 2. Anything else? Nope. So now we move on to 12. We have 2 and 6. And then 3 and 4. My handwriting is so bad. All right, so now we look at our common factors. We have 1 and 1, we have 2 and 2, and we have 4 and 4. So what is our common denominator, or our common multiple that's going to be our common denominator? We have 4. So we are going to now divide 4/12 divided by 4. So go ahead and solve that on your board. 4/12 divided by 4. Pause this video and go ahead and solve. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1, and 12 divided by 4 equals 3. So our answer is 4/12, but it's also 1/3. All right, now let's move on to our next problem. We have 4/5 minus 3/5. So our denominator is going to stay the same, and 4 minus 3 equals 1. So we know that this is already simplified because we have 1 as our numerator. So good luck on your exit ticket.